Okay.
Okay, so we'll record it. The people are just on Facebook, if you are live, I've said about become a VIP member. I'm going to mention this at the end, but if you're not a VIP member, and what we're doing is some preview videos for VIP members who are interested in the 66s, the new Garmin GPSMAP66s. If you want to become a VIP member, just go to our website, which is gpstraining.co.uk, click on news, and then you'll click on a story which is launch of the new Garmin GPSMAP66s. And right at the top of that page, you see a link, and it just takes you to a landing page. Just enter your email address there, and you'll get this information. So literally starting Monday, you're going to get the videos that Andy's going to do today. So you're going to preview those videos before the rest of the world see them. So if you're not a VIP member for 66S, please do sign up, and we'll keep you up to date before everybody else does. So the plan for now is, I say this is a story we're going to slot into next week's podcast, but Tom's kindly come up to northeast of England, up to Northumberland. So we're going to record it as it is live, hopefully 20 minutes, and then we'll slot that into next week's podcast. So we'll just, people who watch to record the podcast before, you know, we sometimes mistakes, and if we do, we'll just go back to the start. Okay. The next thing on the GPS Training podcast this month is we've got a special guest, Tom again from Garmin Sales.
Hello.
So Tom kindly has brought along the new GPSMAP66s. If people are watching us live on Facebook, you'll see that Andy is holding it up to the camera. The brand new GPS unit that is being launched from Garmin on the 15th of October.
Hopefully.
There you are. So we're not going to review the unit. Because we reviewed it in the last podcast, so we've reviewed the podcast. In the last podcast, Andy went over the key new features that he's found in that unit. So I know he's had the unit now, Andy, for 12 hours. You found a couple of, or some more things. So I don't know if you can quickly go over those key things, Andy, and then we'll kind of bring Tom in to discuss.
Yeah, so in the last podcast, we already went through lots of new things that we found. We're mainly comparing it with the old 62 and 64S. Last night when I was using it, it was dark, it was after work. I noticed that they've got backlit buttons on it. So when you're outside, as soon as you touch any of the buttons to do anything, of course the screen backlight comes on and there's a little light shines behind the buttons.
Fantastic.
So I didn't know it was going to have the backlit buttons.
Yeah.
So that was nice. In the menus, I noticed it had something called round trip routing, which is more for the cycling side of things. But if you're a cyclist who do a lot of road cycling, you can get it to automatically pick you a series of routes based on distance you put in. So I thought that was quite nice. We see that on the Oregon 700 series, but we'd never seen that on the older push-button 64.
Yes.
So that was something new that I noticed. The other thing I quite liked was I had a feeling this was going to be on the unit, but for the track recording, the same as we set up the eTrex touches in the Oregon 700s, you can have it so you can be very precise with you starting the recording, stopping it, pausing it, rather than it constantly recording like the older unit. So it's something I thought was going to be there, but it was nice to have a play about with it last night.
Brilliant. And I think the key thing for me is it looks like a new unit, Tom.
Yeah.
Thankfully. So actually, I know when we've got the 62, again, Andy, if you, for Facebook, people can hold the 62.
64 looks the same
64
as well,
looks exactly the same. It's actually in the same case, I think, was it? Or
yes,
very
exactly
different.
the same casing, yeah.
But the 66 just looks new, Tom, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So slightly bigger screen. I'm sure you've been through this already. Better resolution on the screen. Slightly new button layout as well. On there, the power button's moved as well. So.
And the first thing I noticed as well when I press the buttons is the buttons feel different. That sounds really odd.
Yeah.
But they just feel crisp and fresh.
Yeah, they've got kind of a soft response to them, haven't they? You don't have to push them as heavily to make them to get a response from the unit, so it's easier to use.
Yeah.
Quicker to use as well.
Fantastic. Some of the other key things that with Tom, again, if we'll go over what we've done in the past, that's not a problem. Other key things that you found out, because I know you've just had the unit for in your possession for a week or so, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you've obviously got the Inreach Mini compatibility, so it's now the first handheld to have that compatibility.
Inreach Mini, Andy, just a quick explanation what the Inreach Mini is for those people that don't know.
Emergency communicator, two-way communicator. So if you're out in the hills and you've got no mobile signal, you can summons help using an SOS button or let friends and family track where you are and send quick set messages or standard messages to friends and family using satellites rather than mobile.
Fantastic. Phone. So this is, Tom, the first handheld GPS unit that will pair with the Inreach Mini.
Yeah, so it pairs up with the Inreach Mini. You can send your messages from your 66. You can read your messages, you can activate an SOS, so the Inreach Mini can be tucked away in the top of your rucksack.
Fantastic.
So you don't have to have everything attached to the outside of rucksack as you
Very
go
good.
around.
Other key things, Tom?
So you've gone through the new menu system, so it's kind of more Oregon-like, isn't it now? So you've got the profiles in there. You've got a lot of the track log features that we've got. Geocaching Live has come over from the Oregons now.
Yes.
You can download bird's eye imagery direct using the Wi-Fi onto the device. We had to go over that already. All directly onto the device. So trying to make it as streamlined as possible to do lots of different things on the device.
Brilliant. Some of the key questions I've had, because since people who listen to the podcast, we've started this VIP club up where people who are into the 66s have been joining, and we're going to give these people updates before we give everybody else updates. Within those VIP members, many of them actually already pre-ordered GPS units, which is fantastic. So good on those people doing. There's been a number of questions that I've had kind of come to myself and Andy, so I thought we could opportunity to go through some of those questions.
Yep.
Quick question, which Andy just briefly touches, round routing. So round routing is, could you quickly explain what that is, Andy? And then
again, it's for the cycling. It's got Tom's mentioned it's got these new profiles, the same as the Oregon 700 and the Touch. So there's a profile called Tour Cycling where it's set to route you on the road. So this is for road cycling. Go somewhere you haven't been before, turn the unit on, you haven't pre-planned a route. In the unit, you can use the find button, say find a round route, put in the distance you want to go, and the unit will calculate 2 or 3 routes for you based on the distance you put. Circular routes, obviously, round trip routing, bring you back to the start. You just touch go, press the button to say go, and it'll take you on a round trip. You can actually view information about the route, the elevation profile, before you decide. So it's a nice way, if you go somewhere you've not been before, just to get it to calculate some routes. But that's for road cycling. It's not for the hiking side of things. Okay. It's for the road cycling.
Okay. Other quick question I've had thrown to ourselves as well, that's directed to Tom, is people have already got map cards, whether Topo Pro map cards or whether 1 to 50,000 map cards. Will they just fit straight into a new unit?
Yeah, absolutely. They'll work exactly the same as they did with the old unit. You just go in the SD card slot, which is still behind the batteries.
That's fantastic. And read those. There are 3 mapping options on release dates. So 3 mapping options are, and one's unique to GPS training for the first month. So good on Garmin for doing this. Thank you very much. It's appreciated. 3 mapping options, Tom, are.
So you've got a 1 to 25 Topo Pro GB bundle. So that's all the 1 to 25,000 maps. You've got the Topo Pro 1 to 50,000 GB bundle. And then you've got the brand new Bird's Eye Premium bundle, which is the one that you guys have got exclusively, which gives you 25,000 square kilometres of 1 to 25 mapping that you can choose over the UK, over Great Britain.
So that's equivalent. Well, a normal Bird's Eye voucher, Andy, is 3,000 square kilometres, which you say is about the size of Lake District National Park, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 25,000 is 8 times bigger.
Yeah, you can do all the national parks if you wanted to in Great Britain. Or I think it equates to something like 64 OS maps.
Brilliant.
OS map sheets.
Fantastic. The other key thing, which I know we mentioned and we didn't really know much about, but I think we've learnt over the last few hours, is expedition mode. So it's got an expedition mode in the 66S, which we didn't know what it is. I know you had a little bit of, when we met yesterday, you kind of said, I've worked out what this is. What's the expedition mode?
So it's kind of like a further advancement of battery saving mode. So when you ask the device to go into expedition mode, the device powers off the screen totally, and it reduces the track log points down to 1 minute. Okay. And that means that it can stretch up to a week's worth of battery life.
Right.
In an effective standby mode by just tracking. If you want to wake the device, you can do. You just press the power button, it wakes the device up. In the meantime, if you want to make sure the device is still working, there's now on the top a little red LED that flashes just to let you know that it's still live and recording. And still tracking for you.
And what kind of time scale can we set this unit to come into expedition mode? Is it like equivalent of backlight, 15 seconds, 30 seconds? So we're talking at half an hour, 2 hours.
There's 2 options. You can ask it to automatically do it, and it does it after 2 minutes of inactivity on the device. Or you can ask the device to prompt you. So after 2 minutes, it'll say, "Do you want me to go into expedition mode?" And you have to press yes or no. So there's those 2 options currently in there.
So I suppose, Andy, it'd be something that you would use when you were on an expedition. If you were out for days walking, you would switch that off, really, because you want that track.
Yeah, if you want a very precise track and you're just doing a day's walking, you're going to be fine. But I think people going out for days and days where they're worrying about places to charge up batteries. Let's face it, every minute recording a track point, we know it's not as precise as that every few seconds, but to actually use it for things like an emergency track back to get back to the start, you ain't going to have a problem if every minute it's dropping a little marker down, and it's really going to extend that battery life. So I think for people who are using it more for it's that navigation and the safety and finding your way back. Why wouldn't you use that? I know some customers do like that very precise track recording where, yes, they may not use it, but no, I think it's a great added bonus having that option to say, I don't want to record every second.
I must really regret the next subject now, battery life. I noticed when Tom brought this to us yesterday, he's got a Garmin rechargeable battery pack in the back, which we don't really like, Tom.
Okay.
They're not the greatest, are they? They're all right, but they're not the greatest. But again, when Andy's come back in today, you've had this out in the night time. You've been wandering around with it a few hours indoors. Worst place for a GPS really to work.
Just trying to lock onto satellites all the time. Yeah.
And it's performed.
Yeah, the batteries seem pretty good. So I don't know till we do some thorough testing on it, but I have a feeling, I suppose, as products get newer, they'll have the clever electronics potentially drawing less batteries, all I can assume, because normally if I had the Garmin batteries are 2000 milliamp hours, and actually with any sort of batteries, if you're sitting constantly playing with it in the house, bringing the screen on as you're learning how to use it, you will draw more battery than when you're actually using it out in the field. And it's got a strong satellite signal, and I've still got a pretty large amount of battery consumption. You must have had it on for a fair bit as well.
Yeah, I had it on for a fair few hours the day before.
So it'd be interesting when we go out and test it for that day's walk and see how it actually performs out in the field, which is what people really want to know about. I think it's going to be better from what I've seen so far.
Brilliant. And the other key thing from just listening to your conversations is the way that the track or the data is stored. So it's not just saving it as a GPX file, Andy, it's saving it as GPS and fit file, is it?
The way the new units are working, they have this thing called recorded activity or your activity, and it's what we call a .fit file. That those of you who use the Garmin cycle units and watches will be familiar with. It's the format we use on the Garmin Connect app. So it's gearing up really for this device, pairing with the Garmin Connect app, and there's a new, dare I say there's a new, can I mention the new app?
Yeah, of course.
There's a new app coming out as well that will be launched as well, that we don't know any more about it really yet.
Explorer Mobile.
Called Explorer Mobile.
Explorer Mobile,
Yeah, and that's going to allow some route planning using mobile devices to send to the unit. So it's this recording the file as a GPX file that we're all familiar with for sharing others and using in Garmin's Basecamp software. It's also got this fit file that you'll be able to take out and use in the mobile apps.
And it also, you described it as storing the data as a raw file, equivalent to a raw file in the camera as well. Can you explain a little bit? I forgot what the terminology was.
Yeah, so this is the first Garmin handheld that has the ability to store the raw GPS data, so they call it RINX data.
Yeah.
And that is basically the raw GPS data that the device has received from each individual satellite. And then what you can do is you're getting slightly more complicated now, but you can post-process that information. So you can go to a piece of computer software, post-process it, and actually reduce the accuracy of the information that you've got
increase the accuracy,
of the information that you've got. Through testing so far, they've actually managed through post-processing to get it down to 30 centimetres accuracy.
Wow. So really, as a walker, we wouldn't be doing that, but it's more that if somebody was on site and they wanted
professional use, absolutely,
that
that kind of thing. Yeah, GPS accuracy monitoring. There's quite a lot of that goes on where people run testing on the GPS systems, etc.
Just future-proofing it, isn't it?
Future-proofing it, yeah. It's another feature that's built into there in the background.
And I know we discussed this last time, but Tom is the first GPS unit, handheld GPS unit from Garmin to use the Galileo.
It is, yes.
So that should improve it. Are we there with the accuracy with Galileo now? Is this going to get better in time?
I think you were playing around with this morning as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
And there's very little difference between GLONASS and Galileo
at
the moment with GPS. Let's watch that space for the future. It has that capability.
It got a very strong satellite signal. I mean, last night when I was playing with it, turning it on, it was extremely quick. But it didn't matter if I had it on the Galileo and GPS or the GLONASS and GPS, they were both just as quick. But I think things are going to move forward with the Galileo. They've still got a few more satellites to put up there.
Yeah.
So again, it's just future-proofing it.
And the larger screen, so it's now 3-inch screen rather than 2.6 before. 200 by 400 pixels, isn't it? So, and again, we're indoors here now, and it looks very, very good. I know you've been outside with it. And
first thing this morning, I had the sunlight shining really brightly on it, and it was spot on for viewing in the sunlight.
Yeah,
as we'd expect from an outdoor device.
Yeah, looks. I keep saying this. It looks the business. It looks fresh. It looks clean. It looks new. And yeah, I like the feel of it in your hand. It does look the business.
We have retained that heritage that Garmin have. You know, we've actually upped the standard that we test the device to now. So it's a MIL 810 rather than IP rating.
Right.
So it has to go through 24 stringent tests.
Yes.
Before we can put that standard on it, we've really upgraded the ruggedness of the device at the same time as making it sleek, modern, adding in all these new features as well.
Well, I know from us, our feedback note, I said we're pre-selling. We're not even got on our website. We are going to put it on our website this afternoon or tomorrow.
We've got a load of back
But
orders.
We've got back orders already. People that are wanting to upgrade from 62, 64 and coming to this because it's even our trader Ian in the south of England is on the phone yesterday at 8 o'clock in the morning. I need my 66. I need it. So we reserved one for him. So see what people have seen even before they've physically seen the product. They're really liking what they're doing. So we'll link our mobile phone as well, so we get live weather updates, live geocaching, and is that the way we do the satellite imagery downloads as well?
You can do it either via Bluetooth or via Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So the device can connect directly to your home Wi-Fi network or a Wi-Fi network in a coffee shop or a pub or wherever.
Fantastic.
Wherever you might be.
Brilliant. And then we've got the LED flashlight SOS speaker. I know you said, Andy, it was very, very bright.
I used it last night. I said, hopefully no helicopters were landing in the street last night. I held it up and had the SOS beacon on the back. So, yeah.
Very, very good. Anything else you guys want to add? Is there anything else we need to know?
It's interesting, someone asked you about map compatibility. Someone did ask me the other day and we've not mentioned it. The back of the unit has the same spine as you see on the back of all the current Garmin units. So it means any existing accessories that you've got. So we really like this backpack tether. If you're looking on Facebook, you can see the backpack tether. So all the existing accessories that you've got with the current range of Garmin GPSs will work with it as well.
Good. That's a nice thing because actually it's backward compatible with those accessories and also to map cards. I know that's a lot of questions I've had from people before because the map cards are relatively expensive. They can keep their own map cards. Anything else, Andy or Tom?
Looking forward to starting using it. Brilliant.
So then, by the time the podcast is out, they'll be on our website. This, so if you go to gpstraining.co.uk and click on GPS store, you'll see Garmin GPS units, all Garmin GPS units, or Garmin GPS units 1 to 50,000 or 1 to 25,000. You'll see the products listed there. And we're pre-selling this. We're already pre-selling, but it's going to go on our website at the start of October, ready for sales. I've just mentioned earlier on, please feel free to join the VIP club, and as we approach the launch of the 66s, if you want to join our VIP club, just go to gpstraining.co.uk, click on news, and you'll see an article all about the, it says click on this launch of the new GPSMAP66s. If you click on that article, you'll see a link at the top there of how to join the VIP club. And what we're doing with the VIP club, these are the guys who already pre-ordered, so these people have been buying already. So we're giving people who want to trade up from 62, 64, or any Garmin GPS unit, we're honouring the price really to the end of October once we give that price, whenever it is. And we're also, they're getting previews of any videos we're doing. They're going to get live unboxing on the launch date. And as well, we're going to see how good Garmin are at delivering the quantity that we want. So they are literally ordering, and we've literally got a box like one going up right up to. So the first one who orders will get the first GPS unit and dispatch on the day that it comes to ourselves. Brilliant, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for this quick extra bit on the podcast. And we're all looking forward to the 15th of October for the launch of the new GPS unit from Garmin. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh, 17 minutes, guys. That's all right. Facebook people, I don't know how many people are watching us. I don't have our laptops with us today. So I hope that was useful. Bit of chat about it. Do you have anything to say unique to the Facebook people? Come on, guys. Let's be honest now. They're not happy, these guys.
We're just happy with the unit.
I've not heard any negative criticism. I'll be honest. I hear negative criticism. I would be honest. I think I'm over the moon. I'm really impressed. Garmin have brought out a unit. Don't think there's a wrong way to them that actually works straight out of the tin.
Yeah, I've went through every menu last night because it's like anything new. It doesn't matter what manufacturer it is. There's always going to be software updates. Sometimes a bug that just hasn't been found because of so many different features. But I know I wasn't out in the field with it, but I went through every menu, tried every menu, everything I could see on the unit last night, and I didn't get any issues at all. So
that's not in demo mode now, is it? It's
got a satellite accuracy. We're inside the building here. We're not right next to a window. And we've got 3 meters accuracy.
That's amazing.
Pretty damn good. It's obviously getting a signal through the window. We've got to see a line of sight somewhere to the satellites, but it's pretty good. It's jumping between 3 and 5 meters accuracy.
That's amazing.
Inside. Not meant to be used inside. But.
No, that's amazing. Shows how that accuracy is improved. think of the olden days where we used to kind of have to stand in the middle of a field and we're near a building, we used to move away from the building to get a satellite. And then you were talking accuracy of 20 metres. Now we're inside a building at accuracy of 3 metres.
The other thing I noticed last night, I know we shouldn't really get this with modern GPSs, but occasionally you can get that little bit of lag when you're walking and you turn it really quickly to change direction. I noticed last night when I was out with this, I was doing some pretty sharp turns on purpose and the map was turning very, very quick with me. It was like instant. So, you know, that's pretty good as well. It's what I expect with a new unit, but it was good to see.
Very good. So, thanks, Tom. Really appreciate that. We've been able to see this 3 weeks before, and I know I saw a pre-production model, and I know this is supposedly still pre-production.
Yeah, it's still pilot run.
It's pilot run with pilot software in it. But again, really appreciate spending a couple of days with it, and I know Andy's going to get to work do some videos before lunch now, and then those videos will go out to the VIP members on Monday, and then to the rest of everybody later on in the week. So make sure you sign up to the VIP area, and you get those production videos before everybody else does.
Great.
Cheers, guys. Have a good Thursday. It is Thursday, whatever you're doing, and catch up with you all soon. Cheers.